Our guest today is Ganesh Gandhieswaran, the CEO and founder of Conversight. Conversight offers a conversational intelligence platform that uses natural language processing and machine learning to converge the distance between humans and data. Conversight's AI business assistant, Athena, connects distributed databases, ERPs and CRMs, delivering on demand insights to direct your next move through three key functions: information on demand, proactive insights and dashboards, and recommended actions. In this episode, we talk about Conversight's journey to bring visibility to enterprise data and offer an AI powered analytics assistant to every employee in the organization. We also talk about why healthy arguments between co founders are important to the company's success, and why starting a company reminds Ganesh of jumping into a well. Ganesh, let's start with the problem definition. What challenges did you see organizations experience when managing supply chains that led you to start Conversight?
Yeah, I think it's overall in today's context, all the time supply chain is complex, and if someone has all their data, the visibility around supply chain, it'll be better. But even more important is now during post, during the pandemic and post pandemic now with all this global disruptions happening going on, everyone out there looking for higher visibility. When I say higher visibility in supply chain, it's all about, do we have the stock? Do we have them the right place? And if we don't have, how long it will take to get it? And what mode I should ship it? And if it is coming, what date I can give it to my partners and my customers, that when it's going to show up, right? So visibility around everything is very critical. It's so easy to say supply chain visibility, but it's very difficult because your supplier data, your inventory stock across multiple locations, and your sales demand and the forecast, all these are in different systems. In smaller organizations, it's different spreadsheets, different ERP systems. In large organizations, multiple ERPs, CRMs, MRPs, multiple synonyms, multiple systems, right? So that's what we are seeing. How do we bring all that data together, make a meaning out of it, and alert them at the right time? That's kind of what we are seeing overall problem.
As you mentioned, there are multiple systems that supposed to manage supply chain and that been developed to manage supply chain over the years. Why do you think those systems did not solve that visibility issue completely? Why it's still a problem?
See, be it supply chain or any other functions, right, within the company, sometime when you look at one system, just within that, it'll give you some meaning, right? So if you go to, say, I'm using Shopify for all the e-commerce orders. So within the system, Shopify, what you can get, that who ordered, how frequently they are ordering, what are they ordering, all that. That system is not going to say that how much orders are going to come. Or that system is not going to say, do you have, like, how much time your vendor is taking to fulfill. And that system is not going to say that the price increases, what you are realizing. Just for a retailer, for example. So depends on the function. These individual applications, be it a ERP system, CRM systems, e-commerce portals, whether your own or outsourced systems, will tell you just what happened within that boundary of that system. And you can have reports, dashboards, all that within that data. It's not going to. It's good to see what happened within that system, but the moment you want to make a meaning out of it, where you need a larger context, that's when you need data. So for example, we're working with a retailer. the retailer sales team, and so e-commerce retailer, very large retailer, they do have wholesales. So when the customer is calling, within the sales and e-commerce data, they can look at, okay, how frequently they're ordering, what all they ordered, all that. What they don't know is they missed their last order. They delivered wrong product, or they delivered 5 days late. The customer is probably not happy. That information is not there until the customer tell you over the phone. Maybe your call center or sales analytics will capture that, but not before. But now if you look at your supply chain, the sales data along with your supply chain data together, may not be integrated even right next to it, then you that suddenly it's open up. The moment customer call, okay, they have ordered all these, but by the way, we have missed the last order by 4 days, and proactively tell them that, hey, I know we missed your order. I'm going to acknowledge that. I'm going to give you a 20% off on this new order. What you like to order? So if you start a conversation like that, it's going to go way different than you know getting an unhappy customer and go with unhappy customer.
So the data is siloed among different systems, and it's really hard to observe it in full scope to come to the proper decisions. Okay, let's talk about how Conversight addresses this and what kind of abilities you bring to the table.
So just to brief, also use this time to give a little bit of the background on who we are, who I am, and who is the company, what's the company doing. So I spent my first 18 years or so in the data analytics space, larger data analytics space. Worked with a number of automotives, logistics companies, manufacturing companies to bring data from multiple systems and generate insights and do a lot of these forecasting. So used a lot of third party systems. So that was my background. I played from hands on to managed multi-million dollar portfolios. What I have seen most of the places is that a lot of money is spent in capturing the data, but still 80% of the people, they don't get that insights at the right time and when they need. So that's kind of when we started this company called Conversight. Conversight is called conversational insights. Like how you and me are having this conversation, can I have a conversation with my data? Can I ask a question to get the data? Can I do a search like a Google, get the data? More casual and not waiting for a data analyst or a developer to create everything for me. So, what Conversight is solving, or what as a co founder and CEO, I want Conversight to solve is Conversight's Athena, an AI companion or AI assistant, should be a knowledgeable employee. Name it data analyst or a business analyst or a data scientist in any company to provide insights proactively, on demand, answering questions in a context. Like you are a supply chain leader, this is what happening in your business. Do you have any questions for me? So be a personal assistant, data assistant to everyone in the company. That's kind of where we are. We are doing that for more than 150 customers today.
So let's dive deeper into the conversational abilities of Athena and Conversight. And what are the main use cases that customers would use? What kind of requests they would make to Athena?
So there are two types of users. One side, they are more casual users. So think about, we are working with a large manufacturing company, tire manufacturing company, and or also a retailer type. So all their salespeople need every day in their fingertips that how much stock they have for each of that model, and and where it is. And if it is not available, how quickly they can get it. So, one use case is the supply chain data being available for all the salespeople and their customers potentially. What I would call this as an insights exchange. So, okay, you can do the insights exchange with an Excel, right? Or I can send an Excel every day morning to all my salespeople, but that Excel is like 20 gigabytes of data, and they need to click filter for my region, my zone, my product. Rather than that, take the phone, ask a question to Athena. Hey Athena, how much stock we have for this product in this region? Ask a question. And then Athena says, oh, you have only 5 quantities. Oh, when is this getting fulfilled? Ask a follow-up question. So that is number one use case. Empowering users with the data they need. That's number one. You call Athena as a data analyst providing this information. The second use case is more knowledge. Like, for example, you have a supply chain planner, a procurement or sourcing manager type of people. They need to take a decision on how much I need to keep in my warehouse, how much I need to reorder, how much goods I need to order. Now it's a holiday season. Now, say next 3 months, if I'm going to sell 2,000 quantities, where am I going to sell those or fulfill those? In New Jersey or New York, or in Midwest, or in LA, in West Coast? Where am I going to keep those 2,000 quantities? Second, okay, I'm going to sell 2,000, but I only have 500. I need 1,500 more. Which vendor can deliver that for me? If there are multiple vendors, how quickly they can deliver, the lead time, and when should I order? Because I can't order today for 1,500 quantities and everything 1,500 shows up tomorrow or like 1 week later. I don't have space in my warehouse. So supply chain planning people, right? Planners, supply chain analysts, the warehouse manager, sourcing people, all they need forecast, supply forecast or demand forecast, and they need recommendation on how much to make, how much to buy. So, one hand, we are empowering everyone out there casually insight exchange. Other is Athena as a planner doing the forecasting and alerting you, hey, it's time to order, right? So you're going to be out of stock in 4 weeks. It's time to order now. So here is your draft purchase order. So give them that recommendation. Those are the two areas: supply chain optimization and information sharing.
I see how conversational interface should be very intuitive and simple for the everyday users or those casual users of the product who just need to get some data quickly. They don't want to go through spreadsheets, filter through them, and it would be much easier for them to just use their natural language like they would have done if they had a great assistant who could help them there. When we talk about the planners, it looks like they need much more of a deeper picture of what's going on to either approve Athena suggestions or to change them. So they need a much more robust and rich interface than just the back and forth over conversation. That's at least how I understand it. Is it the case? And how do you build that visual interface? Are there any interesting innovations, any interesting thing about how do you present the data to them to make it easier for them and faster for them to come to the right decisions?
Yeah, see, you are spot on for the difference between what they need. The casual users, customers, vendors, they need information, just information, and in a different format and all that. But when you go to the supply chain leader, supply chain team, planners, their job is not just in front of the system, just ask questions. Right? They need more than that. So We have a couple of things for them. One, when they come to the system, the AI Athena can act as their data scientist to do the forecasting. So instead of they run a forecast, assume if a company has 2,000 products and 200 plus locations and customers they're selling, if they need to run a forecasting model, adjusting to the all these different seasonality and all those, it's a huge task, humongous task. So Athena can do that for them, provide them that, hey, here is your anticipated forecast, and then they can review it. Obviously, Athena is just a system, AI, but the business people know what they can make changes. So they can let Athena's model tweak some, configure some, and get aligned on the model. Okay, now step one. So Athena's telling, giving or helping them, let's call it helping them to do the forecasting. Now Athena help them forecasting. Second, we have recommendations from there based on bringing all the data together. You know, for a purchasing person to reorder in today's context, the reason I'm bringing today's context is it's called response planning, demand sensing response planning. So what does that mean is you can't keep too much inventory. You can't just order, okay, I've been ordering 500 every month. I'll just go place 500. You can't do that anymore. Your demand is, there's a volatile demand. And there is also the lead time from the vendors are changing because of all these. So you need a dynamic system which will calibrate both demand as well as the supply side and provide you much more dynamic plan. So the plan itself, right? So how much to make, how much to buy. So Athena's, so forecast and the recommendation, both are available. Now for them, the conversational is the way to engage with Athena. And Athena can also alert them. Say, for example, today is Wednesday and I'm here and I did all my planning and I placed purchase orders and all that. A week later, one of the purchase order where I placed expecting next week Friday, and Tuesday the system like the vendor alert put, oh, the delivery date is Wednesday. That means it's going to come only on Monday. There are 2,000 purchase orders like that. So the supply person, how, like you can go in front of the system and run some reports every day, or give that monitoring job to Athena, get alerts. So the planners need forecast and recommendation, also a person to proactively monitor the unexpected issues. The unexpected issue could be delay, unexpected issue could be excess in demand or change in demand, unexpected issue could be price increases. So there are many things today. So that will proactively come. Athena is monitoring instead of them monitoring and proactively telling them, hey, you have a problem. And then do you want to airship it? So give an option for them. So that's kind of where this augmented or a conversational will play a role for them.
So really trying to make Athena act like an assistant planner or a data
Yes,
analyst would have acted if there was a real person.
correct. So I would never say that, oh, Athena is your supply chain planner. No, no system can do it because every company's supply chain is unique, different, calibrated in a different level. Right? You can't just employ a system and do everything. No, that subject matter knowledge, the company's legacy knowledge is with the people. Athena can be a good assistant for them. So they can make better decisions, faster decisions through this Athena.
How many systems do you see companies plug Athena into to get data and instruct their decisions?
So see, as a company, we have close to 130 different systems we have connected, or we call connectors. We have that. But if you take a company, one department, like you hire Athena in supply chain, it's somewhere around four systems. And you go to sales, again, four or five, two are common from supply chain, two, three are new from the sales. So each department will have four, two to four. Small companies, it may be two, big companies, maybe four. Two to four compulsory, mandatory, like every day I need to look at kind of a data. And then maybe another four or five, which like I can just like expenses or the shipment cost, freight cost. That you don't need to look at it every day. Can be a monthly, right? So that two to four is what we are seeing.
And those 2 to 4 are different by department. And when you scale Athena to the whole organization, there may be even more systems that need to be plugged, dozens of them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. See, one thing we carefully will say that is you can use Athena for all the departments, but not the same Athena. You create another avatar of Athena. So Athena for sales, Athena for supply chain, Athena for finance. For somebody who wants to look at all the three, yes, you can have it, but you're not going to go to the deepest data. You're going to ask high level data, right? So it depends on the interest. The scope can be limited. So in a company, if you ask me, we may connect to somewhere around. We start with four and then go like 8 to 10. Kind of that's kind of what we are seeing.
What kind of customers or companies is Athena the best fit for? What is the target customer profile?
We are very successful in two kinds. One, say there are mid-market customers, mid-size, any domain for that matter. They are capturing data, especially with a lot of these online or SaaS applications, and they don't have analytics team, data warehouses, data. So they can start perfect. They can start Athena. They can start hiring Athena as their first reporting or data analyst. Give access to all the data, and Athena will do the data integration. Athena will collect all the data, do the data integration, and keep it, store it, and distribute it based on questions you are asking, dashboards, and all that. Right. So that is kind of how Athena is working from that small mid-sized companies. Then on the other hand, where you go to large companies, you are looking at companies, they are very big and they have lot of team members, but the consumers are even more bigger. So give you an example, a large company, they have like 600 salespeople, sales operations and all that. And then they have a 10-member data analyst team. And the 10-member need to serve all the 600 people. And each one need, hey, can you send me this report? Can you send me that report? Like a lot more ad hoc. That's perfect. Hire Athena as one of those data analysts. Now it's not 10 plus 1 is 11. 10 plus 1 is probably 20 or 30 or 40. Because Athena is 24 by 7, can speed up a lot of things. Athena can answer probably 70% of the questions what these data analysts are answering today. So that is kind of in a big company. You have tools, you have a great team, but dynamically increase their bandwidth and ability to answer a lot more questions by leveraging this AI. Right? So that's two. I'll start with one more. The third law, important. That's the insights exchange I was talking about, which is you are sharing data. You are sending data. You are sharing data to different customers, different partners, or within your own department. Now you want to share it not just in an Excel, rather give this assistant so that they can ask questions themselves, right? So that's a third use case what we are seeing. That's ideal customer profile for us.
And the industry is not that important as long as they move physical products and have the supply chain.
Yeah, somewhat. Yeah, we have been focusing on lot of supply chain in the last couple of years, but then now we are slowly moving towards even other industries. We are seeing a lot of sales, finance use cases. The moment you talk about, recently in a Gartner's augmented analytics report, we were featured, or we are in a CRM enablement or sales empowerment solutions. We are featured in one of the Gartner report. So we are going beyond supply chain in the last year or so.
Pretty much any organization that is mid-size or large size and that has an acute need to see what's going on with their data, which is pretty much every organization out there,
Yes.
can benefit from deploying Athena or employing Athena to get that visibility and get those predictive insights.
Yes, exactly. So what we are calling Athena is it's an augmented analytics solution. Conversight is an augmented analytics. What does that mean? What does augmented mean? That if a company, so augmenting the analyst first, augmenting the consumer next. So augmenting the analyst means you have a business analyst, you have a data analyst, or you have a data scientist doing something to generate a report. That work can be augmented by the AI. That is one way. So instead of, if I want to create, last 12 months sales by product, by region, and all those, a colorful dashboard, instead of that, you just let Athena, hey, Athena, give me a dashboard on my sales by product, by region for last 12 months. Okay, here is a dashboard. Okay, the pivot table, this is a chart, this is the 4 ways you can analyze. Okay, great. That is augmenting the analyst. Now, okay, I have given the data, last 12 months sales by month, by product. Okay. Now think about a sales leader, the consumer of this dashboard. They can come, open the dashboard, and see, oh, 4 of my products are not selling well, or 3 of my customers gave me less. So you are, so a sales director, for example, is investing their time to opening the dashboard and analyzing what's happening. There also we can augment. The augmentation there is, what are you looking at in the dashboard? You are opening this dashboard and looking at, are there customers who are not giving you enough orders? Athena can actually run, say, simple linear regression on that data and tell you, oh, these 3 customers, the growth pattern is not good. They're not growing. These 4 products or these 4 raw materials are increasing, price increased significantly. Instead of the consumer go to a dashboard and get that, not everybody can do it every day. But Athena, the AI, can work 24 by 7, monitor the data on behalf of you and do it. So augmenting the analyst and augmenting the consumer. Both are possible through this AI.
And how do you define the success of Conversight's implementation with your customers?
We typically ask them that we need to deliver the value within the first few weeks. So I will say they'll onboard Athena in weeks, not months. So the data is always available somewhere. It's maybe just an Excel, or it may be there in your data warehouse in a matured place, or in a CRM system type. Right? So whatever data is available, give it to Athena. Let Athena deliver the insights for you. So the first benefit is that without you spending hours, or without you waiting for hours, Athena will give you the data. So productivity and the efficiency, like information is available. So within that 4 to 6 weeks, we need to see if a particular report or information somebody want daily, it is not easy to get daily. Taken care, take mark. Or a purchasing or a supply planner spending 8 hours in a week to collect all this data and putting together how much to reorder. Take that exercise, automate that. So give Athena that power, let Athena do it. Now that you saved not all the 8 hours, maybe 6 hours, now think about the next task. What else, where else you are spending time, or what else you want to monitor. Maybe you are only able to reorder every week, but you don't have time to analyze your pricing, the price increases with vendor. No problem. Now invest that 6 hours you saved. Ask bunch of more questions to Athena, empower, or connect more data to Athena, connect. So it's almost like onboarding an employee. You onboard an employee, first 4 weeks, don't expect productivity. Athena's learning and all that. But week 5, week 6, you start offloading your work with Athena. So productivity improvement, number one. Efficiency, how quickly I can get it. Third is, for some companies, they have no way to get it. There is no other choice. There is no other alternate, for example. It's not there in my Excel. Because, for example, like, okay, any system will tell you how much I sold for this product. Okay, you sold 200 quantities in 4 stores. Out of that, how many days the stock was not there, out of stock? If the stock would have been there, the sales may be 250. When you look at the CRM data, sales data, it's going to say 200 quantities you sold. Is 200 the right demand? No. The demand would have been 250 if you had your stock there. That means you need to connect the sales and inventory together. So that is not available today. So you gain the initial first 4 weeks something on productivity and all that, then increase the efficiency, increase lot more integration, and then start letting Athena recommend what price or what. So that's kind of the benefits. Few hours saving to thousands of dollars saving. And recently, one of our customer saved $11 million inventory within 6 months.
11 million is really impressive. How did they do that? How did Athena help them?
So as I mentioned, they were a mid-sized organization. It's like, obviously they don't have a huge army of people analyzing everything. So first thing we did was forecasting. Looking at that, we identified that, see, when you go to the sales team, they'll always want to sell everything possible and whatever the customer wants. What we did was, based on the forecast, how much stock you need, how much excess stock you have. It is not having excess stock is not a problem of a supply chain team. It's a problem of a forecasting or outlook what they have received, be it from sales team or somebody, right? That's why they bought it. Bring that back to the sales team. So what we are doing is, we got the forecast, we have the stock, we are identifying how much excess you have on these products. Share that with sales team, share that with marketing team. When someone is trying to order, oh, I want this product model XYZ, they say, oh, model XYZ, we don't have stock. However, XYZ V2, the version 2, we have 30 quantities. Do you want to take it? Or V2 is what they want, V1 is still there in the market. Why don't you promote that with 20% discount? So when you give the visibility of the stock, what you have, to your marketing and sales people, they can start selling, they can start promoting the items which are already available, not the items which are stocked out, which are on high demand. That's, in any organization you see, that's a good 30% of the products are keep moving. There's a good chunk of products not moving. So bring that efficiency out, make it visible to everybody in the organization, be it from CFO to supply chain team to sales to marketing. Then every organization has that enlightenment or empowerment to take the right decision. That's kind of how we are solving. The moment you bring the visibility, I'll tell you, people will act.
That's what I was going for. Visibility just shedding the light on the
Yes.
information that wasn't accessible.
Yeah. Good, bad, ugly. Just show it.
Exactly. And then you'll be surprised how it will affect people's actions and how they will adjust their actions in light of that information. And that will improve organization efficiency.
Absolutely.
Okay, let's talk about AI systems powering Athena capabilities. What are the systems that you use and how do you apply them?
So, our fundamental as a company is a conversational AI company. Natural language understanding is one of the key things for us. So, somebody is coming and asking a question, they will use different terminologies. Like somebody will say product, somebody will say SKU, somebody will say item, material, part, different terminologies they will use. So we need a dictionary of all the different terms people may use. That is one. The second is not just how they are calling, the context in which they are calling, asking this question. Like you are a supply, like for example, if somebody come and ask me, Ganesh, what was your sales last week? And as a CEO, I'll say in dollar terms. If you ask the same question, hey, what was your sales? Like assume it's a department head for a particular say phone. What was your sales for last week? Say, oh, 320 quantities. That's a nature, right? Same question, the answer is different because the context is different. Because the person who is asking or who is answering is different. So you need a contextual understanding system. One. The second is that cannot be static. What I mean is it need to evolve every day. It need to learn and evolve every day. So what we call adaptive learning. So we have the natural language understanding system. To support that, we have a knowledge graph. And that knowledge graph is getting enriched every day by adaptive learning, where we have a patent for that. Okay, now I understood it. What do I do? Okay, ability to convert that understanding into a technical interface, be it a database query or an API call. So we need to get the data. So we have data integration, data query capabilities, and then we have okay, now we got the data back. What do I do? So we need to put that data in a dashboard, Twitter like feed, or a control tower, or keep it ready for Athena to answer questions. It will be very simple. If somebody come and ask, oh, give me my last 12 months revenue by customer and product and all that. If Athena say, wow, that's a complex question, wait for 5 minutes. You can't say that. You need to show it immediately, like a conversation. Oh, I got it. Just a minute. Here it is in a pivot table, for example. So visualization and a performance, high performance. It's highly critical. So we have a very good visualization engine and a high performance data processing engine. Those are all different techniques. Now that, okay, that all about what happened. If I need to tell them what is going to happen, I need to employ machine learning, data science for forecasting, market basket analysis, segmentation, a lot of statistical algorithms we need to run. So that's the data science platform. And finally, there's a recommendation engine. Recommendation engine is like, hey, you're going to run out of stock and you need to order these 4 items and 10 quantities each. Okay, so what are you going to do? I got the recommendation. Yep, I agree. Send it to the ERP system. Actions. So, the ability to connect the data connectors, ability to understand the question, that is a knowledge graph, that is a processing, ability to present the data, 3, 4, ability to predict, that's a data science, and ability to perform action. That's integration, interface with third party systems. So those are the five components. Underneath, you need a highly scalable computing. Obviously, I can't run a huge server 24 by 7. You need to be scaling up, down, Kubernetes, and ability to deploy, ability to bring new features at the speed in like a startup, right? So all that is the foundation, DevOps.
All the five stages of any decision making cycle. I would say
Yes,
analyze the data and then all the way to act on it.
correct.
Okay. And were there any important recent innovations in AI that benefited you significantly? Then you would look back and say Conversight wouldn't be able to do what we do today, or Athena wouldn't be able to do that if not those innovations?
See, the natural language understanding was always there in all the university papers. The challenge for not able to adapt those systems is because of the power, computing power. So in the last couple of years, see, especially you would see these conversational AI systems like 2016 kind of late onwards, because there's a concept called deep learning introduced, and a lot of big players invested, and some open source state. There are a lot of papers on it, right? So those research is really helping. So what we call to understand a human language, there are multiple techniques. There is something called the probabilistic determination, like that, right? So there are different techniques. So that's one thing we are definitely learning a lot on understanding the natural question. So that's an area where we are contributing as well as understanding from the market consistently.
And what do you think? What would be your next areas of improvements in AI abilities? Something on your roadmap that you're working on?
So one thing I will always say, I think I was telling 3 years back and this year and maybe 10 years later also, improve the level of understanding. Because as humans, we are all evolving. And today, if somebody coming and asking a question, 2 months later, they are not going to ask the same question. They are expecting more than that. Right? Say, hey, give me my gross margin by product. The next 2 months later say, oh, give me the products which are not doing good on margin. So then 2 months later they'll come and ask, oh, give me my top 10 products which are selling more but giving me low profitability. You know, where it could go to complex levels. So one to do for us as a company, improve understanding, improve the natural language understanding. Right? That's an area consistently we are investing. One. Second, we want Athena to be the storyteller. That's where the augmented consumer world is going. We don't want consumers, like the users, wait for insights or come and dig a system for insights. Rather, whether they are starting the day, a Twitter starts like Athena's. Hey, like a news. This is what happening in your business. And then you can intersect and then ask a question. I'll answer. So we are making Athena more a storyteller. So your assistant become a storyteller and an advisor. And Athena become an advisor for you. That's kind of where we are going.
This is a very exciting direction, and we'll need quite a bit of work to get there
Yes,
over the years. But when it's there, it will be like magic for every business executive at every level.
absolutely.
Okay, let's talk about the origins of Conversight a little bit. You built the company with your co-founder, Go Peanut. I am curious, how did you meet and how the whole thing, how your partnership started?
So we have a perfect mix between myself and Gopinath, our CTO. So Gopi, I call him Gopi. Gopi has more than 20 years of experience in building platforms, technologies. He's like he could do like he's talking. We always talk about something which like become mainstream in like 5 years, 10 years. It's a visionary from a technology side. I am more from the business side. That obviously, what's in it for me if I use this technology? So, what will be the CFO's problem? What will be the supply chain leader's problem? Sales leader's problem? So, see if there is a way we can bring an AI technology for this. So that was my thing. So when I was managing the portfolio of customers and a lot of that, one thing was disturbing me was that we go build a data analytics system. It was my prior life, thinking that everybody will use in the company. So, there was one time, we were delivering some 600 to 700 salespeople were supposed to use it. Then 4 or 5 months later, I was checking like hardly few people are using it. Handful of people are using it. So that kind of sometimes frustrate. Right? Obviously, I was in a system integrator role. So system integrator got their money. We got the money what we were working for. But what was the outcome? So every company is investing that money to capture the data, analyze the data, and help them to grow. If they are not using it, they are not adapting. There's no outcome. So my own philosophy of owning the outcome is very, very critical for me. So I was kind of disturbed that hey, we need to do something. So Indianapolis, I'm where I'm based. So I met Gopi in one of the technology conference, and he was showcasing something for a manufacturing company with like Google Glass, the remote diagnostic kind of what a mind blowing demo he was showing. And then we both started talking. And then there was a time when he was going to move where I knew that, one of my common friend told me that hey, Gopi is going to move to another city. Oh, is it? Okay. Gopi is awesome, right? And the next day morning, I met him in Chamber of Commerce. Can you believe meeting a technology person in Chamber of Commerce?
What was he doing there?
Yeah. Very interesting. In that Chamber of Commerce, there is a place called Fish Tank, kind of a small, like a innovation room type. And instead of working in the office where all the emails come, a lot of people shop by, he figured this nice little place is his hood to innovate. That's why he was coming. I thought, wow, Gopi, what are you doing here? Like, what are you? So we started talking, and so so we one day it was an like 30 minutes meeting or something. He wanted to, pick my brain on, how to do what kind of thing because he knew I'm the business person. And we ended up talking for like 4 hours, like till night, 9 o'clock on a Friday evening. And I was telling that, oh, I wish I have a partner like you and who can solve this problem so that I can meet my outcome. And then he was talking to me about, Ganesh, do you know something called an Alexa or a Siri? How they are answering questions. Why not we bring an Alexa experience on your data so all your customers and users can just ask the question? That was a mind blowing idea. So 6 months later, we started the company, and fast forward today, and we are helping a lot of customers, right? More than 150 customers, and customers who cannot afford data analyst, customers who cannot afford to build a large data lake, data warehouses, or customers do not have time to build it. That's also very critical in supply chain today, for example. You need those insights today, not 1 year later. So we are able to empower all those guys. We are able to make a lot of these people a hero. That's what my favorite thing is. Whomever we are working with, we need to make them a hero. That's what we are doing now.
This is a very interesting guiding principle to make your users heroes at their
Hero. Yep.
organizations. And this is a fascinating story of meeting your co-founder.
Yeah.
I wonder if that meeting didn't happen, would Conversight exist as a company?
May not, may not. I was thinking about doing, starting a business. That was my dream. Like I was just, I don't know, like I was kind of waiting for somebody. May not, Conversite may not be at this stage, at this level, without each of us like coming together, like challenging the business and bringing the best of the technology together. I think it's very important to have the right partner, the right mix of partners. Very important. A little bit funny story I'll tell you that when I was 7, I'm from India, and I'm in a remote village. There is no swimming pool to learn swimming, and you go to a well, 80-foot deep depth, like 80 feet of water filled. Right? Think about, imagine that, and people will jump on that and learn and come out. So cool, right? But it's so difficult. Like you need to have a courage to jump. What they do is they say, "Hey, don't worry. I know swimming. I'll hold your hand. Let's jump together." Now you get that boost. Oh, this I know this person is a very trusted person. He knew swimming. He'll take care of me. You jump, right? Actually, because it's like 20 feet, you go down before touch the water. Because of this, the weight of these two people, by the time you go, you will lose the grip, and you both of will drop at the different time because of the mass and all that, right? But what gave you the confidence to jump is that somebody holding the hand. That's what I would say. What why I was not starting the company, even though I had that vision for a number of years, is finding that partner whom you can trust, which is very critical.
To make the leap in your example with swimming, it's a
Yes,
literal
yeah.
leap forward. And that experience of jumping, I mean, jumping is fine, but if you don't know how to swim, that can be a real experience and real challenge for anyone
No, there are
who does it.
safeguards, right? It's not like
Okay.
you are tied to a rope, or you have a life jacket, and all that is there. But I'm just giving you the example of that.
Yeah, yeah. Even
Um,
with all of that,
yes,
making the jump, making the leap,
yeah,
having someone by your side is fascinating.
yes.
And now working with your co-founder for so many years, what would you say? What did you learn about the dynamics of relationship between co-founders that you think every founder having a co-founder should keep in mind or should understand early in their journey?
See, in any company, any two founders starting the company, it's not like you need to align on everything. If you align on everything, you end up going to the wrong direction easily. Okay, you don't need to align on everything on day one, start of the day. But end of the day, you need to align. What's more important is that we both may have different thoughts. We may have different area we want to focus, or different market we want to hit, or different tech way to architect the technology, or different kind of a people we want to hire. Any of that. But discuss, argue. I mean, argue really. Argue. Come up with pros and cons, and end the day with something leisure, something fun, something cool. End of the day, it's not who wins in the conversation. End of the day, it's together, and we both have the same goal, same objective, and we both are still holding the hand. And I used to tell this to our team when we starting. I used to say that, guys, we are all in a boat in the deep ocean. You are all rowing the boat. We all need to row the boat in the right speed, and one person is taking rest, the other person need to cover, and you need to go. There is a light remote tunnel, there is a light there, but we need to get there. The moment you get there, you don't need to row, because there is a train waiting there. It'll take you. So that is in a way calling, crawl, walk, run. I tell them that if each one of you are going in different direction, the problem. But you think the light is there, we are going this. If you have good eyes, guide us. Doesn't matter whether you are a co-founder, whether you are a CEO, whether you are a programmer, doesn't matter. If you can see a fortune for a technology, a feature, or a model, bring it up, because we all have one goal. The short term goal is go reach that lighthouse. So if we have that, obviously we are telling that to team. Obviously, our as founders, we need to follow that, and we debate a lot, argue a lot, but at the end of the day, we have a common concurrence and move towards the right direction. That's kind of how we manage.
The arguments between two people working together, like co founders, when they're intense arguments, the emotions can get intense as well. And sometimes, I mean, you need to learn to manage them. So I wonder, what's your advice there, or what's your recipe there? How to make sure that the arguments are healthy and emotions stay in check? And when sometimes emotions do not, I mean, we're all people. So emotions sometimes take over. How do you get it back so it's not a vicious cycle of deteriorating a relationship?
Yeah. So even though I'm calling those arguments and all those, it's not about it's not challenging the core values why we started the company or where we want to go. It's all mostly we are all aligned on that. That's why we today exist as a partner, co-founders. So we believe the idea, we will believe the potential, we believe how complex it's going to be. It's not like easy walk, right? Anybody can get there. So we are aligned on 80%. There's a 20% where you argue. Because you believe in that core value, because you trust each other, and because it's a family, right? We always have arguments and difference of opinion in our family. Doesn't mean we are living every day. So we are bonded together. We are on this. And one more thing, right? It's not just he and me. It's about all our employees. It's about all our investors. It's all about all our customers. There are a lot of things on stake here. So we both are arguing for good for us, the company, the investors, the employees, the customers, everybody. The moment you are aligned on that, all these arguments will be okay. I'll tell you, we never had to involve someone else apart from both of us to intervene and bring it down. No, we are both mature and we can do that.
Keeping the sight on the big goal, the big picture of what you're trying to build, definitely helps in those moments. And I think also another aspect that you obviously have with your co-founder that is also extremely crucial is the mutual respect, and that it's still there. And respect comes from two things, I think: from what you said, understanding that the person is aligned on the values with you, your co-founder wants the same thing that you want. And the second one is the amount of effort that the co-founder puts is also there. So you're together working and giving it to the company in the, say, amount it's needed at the current stage of the company. So if you see that the effort is there, the values are there, there is a goal that you share, and the end result is the same vision of the end result. And then you can survive any argument about those 20%.
Correct. You are perfectly correct. Yes. Aligning on the core principles and then resolve one or two of these intermediate hurdles. Yeah, get it over.
I wonder how becoming a CEO and co founder of the company changed you personally. You were at different companies, you were doing great things, but now you made the leap and you've been doing it. You've been building the company for about 5 years. So, what kind of changes in yourself did you observe?
So, when I was working in a company, it's just about me and my family and about the work. There is always options. But when I started this as a CEO, it's like you are the head of the household. You are responsible for many things. Second is cash flow, managing the cash flow, for example. Of course, today we have fundraise and all that, but early on, balancing the cash flow, managing, you can't have a finance manager on day one. So the CEO, somebody told me that chief of everything from office boy to everything, right? So having that skill. So one thing I learned is whatever skill I had and to operate as a true CEO, what skill you need. So venture capital, for example, raising money capital was a new thing for me. So I have to learn, study a lot, and it's all about networking and tirelessly following up and keeping them updated. So every month today, I update like 130 investors. But you know what? All we need is one investor in future. But even then, I invest time too with all those. So I think it's some time management and learning the skills on the areas which you are not a master. Like I was not a master in fundraising. And the third important is knowing your responsibility. That's the biggest stuff. It's not if you have an idea, oh, okay, I'm ready to start. No, leaving highly paid job and a family, kids, and coming out starting, it's a challenge. But are you up for it? Are you ready to give up? Ready to like stick to that and ready to give up all some of those leisure time and to invest that back in here until you hire a good team? Like that's kind of what I learned. The response, being responsible, all that. But that's on the general side, right? Technology side, a lot, right? No doubt, right? Every day we are watching, learning, listening. Different ideas comes from like analysts, customers, our own employees, role models. Like I'm not calling competitors, right? They're all role models, right? In different stages, right? All the role models. So learning that continuous learning and adapting to that. That's kind of what we are.
You mentioned that for everyone who's thinking about starting a company and venturing on their own, they should be ready for these becoming the chief everything officer. And what would be your advice to the people thinking about starting a company? What would you say they should think through, or how do they should approach it?
So idea is important, but idea alone is not enough. So realize that first. And the reason I'm telling is the idea is good and is timing good, right? That's very important. Third is I've seen different founders, some are very open to add more co-founders, like larger team and all that, ready to share the wealth or ready to share the equity, or some are like, I don't want to dilute, right? So early on, we need to make a decision on what speed we want to grow the startup. If you want to grow like a true venture capital backed startup, that means you are on the growth wheel. You have to grow, 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 right? So every 18 months, you need to rise and grow. Like that, you cannot do it alone. You need a partner. You need great people. on sales and all that. So don't be protective on your, don't worry about dilution and all that, right? So just do it. It's a fun, it's an experience, it's an awesome thing. But it's a roller coaster ride. Not everybody enjoy the roller coaster ride. Sometimes it's scary, right? Be ready for it. Number one advice on the work side. Second, if you have a family, it's utmost critical to keep the balance between the two, and you are not mixing or taking your pressure, work pressure at home. That I have seen some people both things at the same time. That's not good. So keep a good harmony, good things at home, and don't take your cash flow pressure or any of that to that side. That's again an important. As I mentioned, it's not, if the moment you have an idea, it's not like you can ready to jump. Are you ready to take the responsibility? Are you ready to sacrifice your time? Are you ready to balance? Is your family or your partner understand what you are getting into, the pros and cons and risks and opportunities? Explain to them, spend time, convince them that why this is right for you, for them, for everybody, both personally, socially, all that. Right? I think once you have that concurrent, just jump on. Never give up after that. Just go.
This is a very important point about making sure your partner is aligned with you on that one and supports you on the journey. Because if it's not the case and the expectations are different, there then when times get tough, and they will eventually, that may lead to a broken relationship or a failed company.
One way or other, that will impact your company's performance as well.
Yeah, at the very least, it will impact your company performance significantly, and it will be a vicious cycle where both sides impact each other in adverse ways. For the last question, let's talk about what do you want Conversight to be in 10 years from now.
So, Conversite's Athena should be an intelligent employee in every company possible, right? Ability to get the data, connect the data, provide the data, tell the story, suggest them, and all, thing. That's what this AI is. It's not, on one side I'm hearing about all the robots, who's going to come and will make coffee and all that. That's all good, awesome. But on the other side, business also, you need a robot assistant. Robot doesn't mean need to have all the hands and legs, and all those can be an artificial. So we want Athena to be a trusted advisor for many business leaders. That's kind of where we want to go. That means Athena need to learn more. Athena need to graduate. Athena need to be flexible. Athena need to continuously learn, adapt to different people, different languages, not just English, different languages and different industries, different domain experience, supply chain, finance, and procurement, HR. Like, so making Athena become the trusted advisor. That's our goal in the next few years. And for that, we can't do it alone. We need support. We need investors. We need a great team. Right? In the last 2 months or a month, we almost hired almost like 8 people in our sales team. Right? So we are growing, and we are going to continuously hire, and then we are keep on adding new customers. That means we need good customer success team. We are going off to new industry. That means we need good solution analyst. So customer success role is open, solution analyst role is open, and we are expanding our sales team. So there are a lot of account executive kind of roles are open. So there are multiple roles, and I want a lot of people who are listening in. If you believe in having an employee like Athena, come, visit our website, conversight.ai, ask for a demo. If you're looking for a new journey, if you think you can contribute to Athena's success, as I said, everyone in our company is empowered to suggest. If you have an idea, if you think Athena can serve somebody great, we want you. Come with your idea hat. We'll give you the right role and let's grow together. Right? So that's kind of where we want to go and what kind of help we want. As you initially mentioned, the website has a lot of details, conversight.ai, and contact me, Ganesh. My name is Ganesh G. Again, the first letter same, Ganesh G at conversight.ai. So contact me or LinkedIn, great place to collaborate. If you have questions, if you need support, you are already thinking about a startup, you want to validate, no problem. Let's do it.
And I will also add all those links that you mentioned to the show notes. So it's going to be easier for listeners to find you all.
Thank you.
Ganesh, thank you for joining me today. It was a pleasure to talk to you.
Thanks a lot. Thank you for having me. This is a great opportunity to learn and share. I always, I'm a big fan of, listening to these podcasts, and it's great to share and great to learn.